The Detroit Lions have reportedly decided to keep making additions to their team. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Detroit will sign cornerback Rashaan Melvin, who will become another addition to their free agency class. Lions reached agreement with free agent CB Rashaan Melvin on a one-year deal, $3.5 million deal, per source. Schefter said, Melvin had posted 2 solid seasons in a row with the Indianapolis Colts, but injuries slowed him down multiple times throughout his career before he signed in Oakland. The Raiders landed him on a one-year deal worth $5.5 million with an extra $1 million in potential incentives. Last season, Melvin delivered 56 tackles and 1 interception to the Oakland cause. To this point in his career, Melvin has jumped around a bit, going from the Baltimore Ravens to the New England Patriots and finally, to the Indianapolis Colts. It wasn't until he joined Indy in 2016 that he was able to really put it all together and produce at a high level. Over 2 seasons with the Colts, the undrafted free agent out of Northern Illinois tallied 96 combined tackles, 20 passes defensed, 3 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles in 25 games. What's even more eye-opening, though, is that during Melvin's breakout season in 2016, he played just 60.7% of the team's defensive snaps, per Football Outsiders. At this point, the Lions may have spent the money, but they still have more on the docket available to them, still with a top 10 total. The Lions will have to dedicate about $7 or $8 million of that total to their draft class, so the real total could be under $20 million. Still, it's a decent chunk of change with which to work at this point in time. Detroit has filled most of their biggest needs, but do still have some to address. Right now, the team could use a linebacker, running back and perhaps a backup quarterback to add to the mix. If they could get that, they would be in an even better place heading into the 2019 draft in April. The defensive line and defensive backfield have several stud players who figure to be around early in the draft, and those are 2 spots where the Lions could figure to need instant upgrades. Detroit also has needs at tight end, perhaps at wideout and also depth spots on the offense and defense. They also have plenty of draft picks with which to work. Now, they've got flexibility with those picks considering their fast free agency work. The Detroit Lions are pushing into the off-season. Stay up to date with everything. Take 5 seconds to sign up for our free Lions newsletter now. Combined with a young linebacking group, there is a hope that the Lions could turn into one of the NFL's more elite groups on defense if they are able to continue the arrow trending upward. Certainly, there is reason for hope that could soon be the case, as they've already got a nice place to start with some solid and budding talents on the field. Getting a high draft pick into the mix will help this turnaround further. Interestingly enough, many early mocks have had the Lions looking elsewhere than along the defensive front. Cornerback has also been alluded to as one of the team's bigger draft needs coming up, but that could have been dealt with enough to avoid an early selection. Detroit's next draft, whatever pick they might land, is still going to have to be heavy defensively and also at some of the offensive skill positions. Adding Melvin would simply check off another need.